you can see, I have a small library here. I don't know if I'll insert a recording using the same camera I'm using here or a higher quality one just so you could see. But I thought I'd sit in my little corner. My channel is called Clarissa's Corner, so of course Clarissa's gotta have a corner. And I would review for you guys some books, some stuff. I think I'm gonna do books first. Yeah. Master plan. I'm gonna do books first. Okay. But it's pretty dark here. There was this overwhelming bright light in the background coming from the window. I don't have decent curtains, blackouts. So it shows and it ruins like my face. You can't even see my face. But now we're in a predicament where it's a bit better looking now. But just in case, I have this candle here. It's a Yankee candle, gifted to me by my grandma. It's a sage and citrus one. See this fire be caused here because there's so much flammable shit here. Anyways, I have a few books that I did pick out that I wanted to just highlight from my collection. I didn't necessarily want to like take them out on camera because like that would mean I drop everything. And I mean, there's still a chance that I drop stuff and it catches on fire, which would make for not only great content, but like a great news segment on CNN. Let's begin. I have 6 books. I really wish I could get like a cute little glimpse of everything I have going on here. As I've stated before, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I would like to share with you guys from my library, from my corner, Clarissa's Corner. And you know, put you guys on, even though like these books have been out longer than I've been alive. Okay, I'm gonna show them to you now. I have like I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in the video, but I also have CDs. If you'd like me to show you guys those in another video, like my 6 picks of CDs, let me know. And if you guys want like a full like library video, let me know. So the first book I have here is Caligula and three other plays. It's a collection of, it's a vintage, like that's the publisher name, collection of books. And it's 4 total Albert Camus plays. I am a bit fake, and so far I am liking it. Plus I've read other like works by Camus, so I'm assuming when I finally do finish the book, I will be content and I won't feel like I've wasted my time, you know, reading his plays. I did enjoy Caligula. I did read Caligula, pretty good. But yeah, I've taken a little reading break from this one. There's a funny line in this one, and it reads, "The first patrician, or patrician, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, says, in any case, we can have an instance of incest appearing as some sort of tragedy. Matters of the state won't permit it. Incest, okay, so be it, but be discreet about it." And it made me laugh a bit. Anyway, I should tell you guys the other plays that are in here. So it's Caligula, The Misunderstanding, State of Emergency, and The Just. Anyways, my next pick after that is Lolita. And not for the reason you think. Like, I don't believe this is a love story, and the fact that that even needs to be said is so ridiculous to me. In what world is this perceived as a love story? I'm looking at you, Adrian Lyne, and I'm especially looking at you, Kubrick. There is just no way that, because I'm very big on the law, but in this case it had to do with a child, so I'm not sure where there's a gray area in which one can interpret this as a story of love, and Dolores is nothing but a no good fucking wench temptress type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how you guys picked up on that. I read this at a very young age. I haven't picked it up since. I was very deep in the whole Lana Del Rey thing, and I was like, what the fuck does Lolita even mean? And it brought me to this book. This was like during the pandemic times, okay? Anyways, I was so crushed by this book. I read the book before why can't I speak? I read the book before I watched any of the movies, and both the movies left me appalled. Vladimir Nabokov would be rolling in his damn grave. I would say it's a good thing to read, but I think people get so lost in like how graphic it is that they lose the plot, and they're like, graphic scene equals this is okay in whatever universe, and like this is, it's not a cautionary tale, because it would be a cautionary tale for is like, I don't know, pedophiles, but this book is so fucking sad. I was so crushed. Not at all for Herbert though. Humbert, not Herbert. Humbert. Herbert is the Family Guy pedophile. Humbert is the pedophile here. I was disgusted by him the whole time. I'm not sure how people, like, they lose the plot and they start blaming the victim, which is Dolores Hayes. Good book, but fell into the wrong hands. Oh my goodness. Up next on my list, and if you guys notice, I read a lot of plays. A lot of the things that I read are plays, and not because I'm pretentious, or at least not mostly because I'm pretentious, but because I'm fucking lazy. I cannot read a simple book. Like, it took me quite a bit to get through Lolita the first time I read it. I believe back in like 2020. And in that case, whereas plays, I mean, they're just easier to get through because dialogue is pretty easy to read, like just character name, dialogue, what they're saying, instead of all these unnecessary details that can just simply be explained in the scene headings or like in the action, things like that. And you know, it gives you more room to be imaginative, and me saying that might come off as a bit pretentious, but I don't care. This is my channel, and this is my safe space to be as pretentious as I want. Anyways, up next, Henrik Ibsen, A Doll's House, and Other Plays. Now, I'm gonna be very honest with you. Out of the other plays I read, which are Pillars of the Community, A Doll's House, Ghosts, and An Enemy of the People, the only play I've been able to read to its full length was An Enemy of the People, and it's only because of Jeremy Strong. Everyone say thank you to Jeremy Strong. Clarissa picked up a book, but Ghosts. Ghosts by far is a lot more interesting than Doll's House. I cannot get behind a Doll's House. I'm so sorry. I'm picking it up and picking it up, but I just need to accept that it's also going to take a while for me to finish Doll's House because it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Whereas An Enemy of the People is a lot more gripping. You know, everything that goes on with Dr. Thomas Stockman and his family, it's just, it reels you in. And the way that their relationships work in that book, the relationship between the mayor and his brother, which is Thomas Stockman, and the conflict of the water, the spa water, and the whole thing about censorship and money and power and things like that. And you know, is it worth it to reveal the truth if it's going to fuck over everyone else, or is the truth like the sole important thing? And I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I went to see An Enemy of the People in at Circle in the Square Theater in New York. You know, that thing that I promised the vlog about that you guys never got because I forgot to record a lot of things. But the point is, I saw it and it was rewritten to where Mrs. Stockman, Thomas's wife, is not in the play. It's only Petra, which is his daughter, and Thomas, which I think is a lot better than the wife even being there. I really did like the way that was rewritten because it goes into more depth of the daughter, whereas I found that the wife was just kind of someone there to like keep Thomas stable, but she didn't really contribute much else. Like, she really doesn't do anything, whereas Petra, she's a teacher, she has her things going on, and she has beliefs similar to her father's, but then she like kind of decides to still stick by him even though after he like reveals the truth. She is fucked over as well. Like, she literally, spoiler alert, she loses her job because of her father, essentially, and because she stuck by him, and she still decides to stick by them, and just exploring that dynamic is a lot more interesting. So yeah, but this is good. I'm reading Ghosts right now. It's also gonna take me a bit, but the reason I'm reading Ghosts and like really just trying to get through it is because of the uproar caused by An Enemy of the People. Ghost caused that uproar, and that's when Ibsen was like, I need to write this other play, and that's when he wrote An Enemy of the People. So good plays, but I'm not reading A Doll's House. You had to have known this one was coming. It was my dilemma even trying to read this book in the first place. American Psycho. Oh, by the way, I'm so cool, you guys. I'm so cool. Like, but anyways, so American Psycho, look, this is one of those things where if you don't take it too seriously, it becomes easier to read. And my ADHD diagnosed brain cannot like follow along. You people can't do anything. Cannot follow along the many descriptions of unimportant shit, like the brands, the music he listens to, and things like that, which is why I think the movie is better, because it's a shortened version of all that. He does go into tangents about how he lives, you know, unnecessary tangents, mind you, about the music he listens to, the things he does, his day-to-day, but the book is worse in that aspect. But the reason this is in my picks is because if you don't take it so seriously, it becomes such a bearable read. Also, maybe I'm desensitized, but I don't get the ruckus this stirred, and I especially don't get the ruckus that was like started by even the movie. The movie directed by a woman, a female director. who really took it upon herself to over satirize everything that was going on, which I love. And Christian Bale's amazing. I'm not really going to talk about this book because my life is essentially pretty unaffected by it. Like, I don't care. Oh, but I do have some fun anecdotes about when I'd read this. I finished reading this when I used to work at insert candy shop. I'm not going to say the name of the candy shop, in the break room, and it just hit me until now. If anyone actually caught glimpse of the book I was reading, I'm either coming off as pretentious, a creep, or a fucking loser. And that's fine. Social pariah reads. But yeah, that's when I would be reading this. I have followed up on things that Bret Easton Ellis has said. I could care less about the man and this work, but it wasn't a bad book. I have to give him that. It wasn't bad at all. I can't act like I didn't enjoy it. I really did. But my life is just so unaffected by it. I'm not hating. I am just stating my opinion. You film bro, book files, literary files. I'm not sure if there's a word for it. But yeah, that's I'm already pissing people off with anything I say about American Psycho as a book, so I might as well say it. The musical was better. There is a musical, by the way. There's a fucking musical. Oh my god. The guy from House of the Dragon, I don't know if he also comes out in Game of Thrones because I don't watch either one, but he comes out in it. Oh my god. He fucking plays Patrick Bateman, and that's so funny to me. Like, but of all people, I personally would not have picked it, but that's neither here nor there. I like how I was supposed to talk about the book, and instead of talking about the book, I go off on a tangent on how much I love the movie and rage bait you guys by saying the musical was better. Up next, you guys will never guess. You knew I had to do it, and who would have guessed? But another play. The Great God Band by Amy Herzog. Amy Herzog is the wonderful woman that rewrote, readapted An Enemy of the People for its Broadway run at Circle in the Square Theater, the one that I want to go see. And oh my gosh, what do we have here? You guys, I'm still so like, oh my god, that day. I embarrassed myself. I embarrassed the fuck out of myself in front of Jeremy Strong, but like, oh my god. Okay, this is not that video. This is not that video. I already have multiple lives of me discussing what went down. I'm so happy. That is the great Jeremy Strong signature, his autograph. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Like, my friend was like, he might have been a little happy, like, because you even read it. I mean, he probably doesn't think I read it, and like, I'm acting like I know his past works. Well, not his work. This is Amy Herzog's work, but he originally plays Jamie. Look, he's right there. Jamie, and then Jeremy Strong right there. Also, Sarah Goldberg, that's her name, right? Yeah. Sarah Goldberg is in this, and if you don't know her, she was in Barry. I forgot the name of her character in Barry, but you know, the blonde one? Is it like, you know, like the main girl and stuff in Barry? Yeah. But she was in this too. This is so good. I find clips of it online, and it feels like, you know, like finding a last piece of candy, like your favorite candy, in like those bags full of like multiple brands of candies. But the point is, it's so good, and I don't care. A lot of people criticize Amy Herzog for writing plays centered around men. I implore you guys to find something new to say. I don't give a fuck. There's so much that can be said about this one and about the women in this piece as well. It does follow Jamie, played by Jeremy Strong, and a dilemma that he faces, this internal conflict in which he's approached by a childhood friend of his, who tells him that he's in the middle of filing a report against his father on grounds of sexual abuse. And then he lets him know that the dad actually came out and said that, like, he admitted to it, but also said that he did things to his friend. And later on in the play, spoiler alert, y'all, please skip ahead like at least a good 45 seconds, in case you even want to, in case you care. But there was a week, 4 weeks in which he actually stayed. Jamie stayed at his friend. I think his friend's name is Frank, right? Yeah, Frank's house for 4 weeks because his parents were going through like family issues, and the mom was dealing with postpartum because after having his sister, so they sent him for 4 weeks to the house of friends of theirs, that being Frank's mom and dad, who are estranged because they felt shame for even, for the mom it was shame about dealing with postpartum, and then for both of them it was even having problems in their marriage instead of, you know, taking him with trusted relatives. So now he's in this dilemma: was I abused as a child or not? And then behind the scenes and stuff like that, like aside from that, Sarah Goldberg's character, her name is, oh my gosh, I forget, so Jamie Frank and Paige, his girlfriend, who was a dancer, and she had an injury which led to her having to give up dancing, and now she's working on, I believe, her psychology degree, or something along those lines, or her practice. It was something she's working on now. But she is pregnant with Jamie's child, and then they're having their own dilemma. Should she keep it? Should she not? She wants to keep it. He doesn't want to keep it. And now after everything that's going on with that, that's obviously going to harm the chances of a family flourishing. And you know, the whole thing about them even being married comes up, and it's all taken, like, it's all connected at some point by Paige, because she finds out about it. And like, what if these issues that you're having with me are because you went through something like that as a kid, and things like that. And I just thought it was so good, so well written, and like, I cried, but it was so great. God, this computer. But yeah, please, you guys, I implore you to read this. This is amazing. Okay, good. And last but not least, surprise, Angels in America by Tony Kushner. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, I went to Barnes and Noble one day all by my lonesome because nobody wants to hang out with me. Female loneliness epidemic. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Barnes and Noble, and I picked this one up. I remember in my acting 2 class, 2 students by the name of Meadow and amazing students. Meadow and Vanessa, they're wonderful, and amazing actors. Oh my goodness. They did a scene from this one. It was the scene between Joseph and his wife. Fuck, how come I'm like blanking on so many names, on the names of women, no less. You see, horrible feminist Harper, who is addicted to pills. And what is she, bipolar? I don't know, but she has something. Meadow and Vanessa did the scene in which she confronts Joe, like, are you gay, type of thing. I'm telling you guys the scene as if you have any context. They're Mormons, and this is around, like, it's like a historical work of fiction, you know, like surrounding Roy Cohn, who was a power broker back in the day, you know, Trump's lawyer. He's a lawyer, and he later would go on to die from AIDS. And in that scene, it's revealed that well, we already knew that Joseph, Harper's wife, you know, he works for Roy Cohn. He's hooking up with random men. I don't know if it was just that one guy that he was hooking up with, but whatever. Hooking up at the park, essentially, which is why he would come home late, or go on walks to the park, and that's what that was. So Harper confronts him, and she's like, "Are you gay?" And he doesn't know how to answer that. And that scene was so crushing. They performed that scene multiple times, but the last time I saw it, I cried a bit. Like, I felt like I was choked up. I didn't like sob, but I was a bit choked up. And so it was a really good scene. I was so like in awe, and then when I actually read it, I felt so sad. There's also this plotline with the guy that I believe Joe had one of the guys that Joe had sex with, or was he having sex with only him? I don't know, but the point is, it's been a minute. Let me find it. Joseph is having sex with Louis, and Louis has a boyfriend, but his boyfriend is dying of AIDS. And there is a scene, his boyfriend his name is Prior Walter, in which he is just like crushed and begging for Louis to stay with him because he's dying, and he does not want to die alone. And that scene, I was crying so fucking hard. Like, I was near the Barnes and Noble. There's like a cafe across from it, and I was like drinking a little iced coffee thingy. It got to that scene, and I was like, I need to put the shit down right fucking now. Such an amazing fucking play. Please, you guys, read more plays. I think that's what I want to say with this. But yes, read plays. They're so good, and they're so easy to read. Yeah, that's all the books. So sorry, you guys, that by books I just meant like plays and 2 books. Or was it all just... No, Lolita and American Psycho were full books, but the rest were plays. Anyway, thank you for watching, you guys. I love you so much, and thank you for your support of me.